Yo everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So no, you aren't seeing things. I do look really pale and a little bit strange, and that is because I have nothing on my face. This just goes to show the need for things like contouring, bronzer, blusher, highlighter and that sort of thing, because your face looks really one-dimensional and flat when you've only got your foundation on. And at the moment I've only got foundation on and I've placed my concealer under my eye, because today I'm going to be reviewing the brand new Sleek Cream Contour Kits, which are going to be available in the UK on the 6th of April. And the reason that I have got these is because Sleek very kindly invited me to their launch event about a week and a half ago. And just as a disclaimer, as an aside, before I even start anything, Sleek have not asked me to do this review. I'm not getting paid to do this review. I'm not affiliated with Sleek in any way, shape or form, other than they were very kind enough to invite me along to their launch so that I could have or see a demo taking place of how to use the cream contour kits. Even though I would say the majority of people that were there already know how to use cream contour, everybody to me has their own technique and way of doing it. And as much as people can advise you this is how you should do it, it always comes down to personal preference, to face shapes, to what you're actually trying to achieve with a product like a cream contour kit. The most popular one at the moment, I would probably still say, is Anastasia Beverly Hills Cream Contour Kits, probably because she was one of the few companies to kind of do it first. But then there are quite a few other companies out there that have followed suit and done it quite successfully. Me personally, the only one that I own is the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and I did quite like using it last year. It was one of my favourite products of 2015. The only other cream contour products I have, I think, are the Smashbox contour stick trio, which are lovely, and I also have a L'Oreal Infallible Sculpt one, which is okay. It's just the shade range is 2 shades, that's it. Now, me personally, I don't tend to use cream contours that much. It may be because, like I said, the first one that I ever bought was the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, and as good as that product is in terms of coverage, it's very thick and very time consuming to blend out. And if any of you guys are like me, you're a working girl, you haven't got time in the morning to be sitting there going blend, is it done? No, blend, taking 10 minutes to blend out a highlight and a contour. We just don't have time. As much as we want to go out with a full face of makeup, we want it to be as quick and as easy as possible. So the Sleek one, oh my god, I absolutely love it. That's all I can say. I have used it every single day since I've got it, going to work as well. I have no problems using it in the morning. It doesn't take ages to blend out. To me, it's just like using my normal contour powder, which I do use every single day. Because instead of using cream contours, because of the reason that it took so long, I would always use powder contours, because it's just nice and quick and easy. You just blend, done. And so once I got this one and I decided to try it out, obviously, I was really pleasantly surprised to see how good it was. I mean, when I was obviously at the launch itself, they had like samples lying around, so I was testing it out in my hand. I was like, wow, it's really soft, really easy to blend, and as much as it is a cream product, it blends down to an almost powder finish, so you don't even have to set it unless you really want to. Now, there are 3 shades altogether, 3 kits altogether, and that is light, medium, and of course dark. So there are 3 altogether. I think these are retailing in at $10.99. The Anastasia Beverly Hills ones cost twice as much. That's just the only thing I'm going to compare it to, because it's the only thing I can realistically compare it to, because just like the Anastasia ones, there are 6 shades in each. So what I'm going to do is I am going to swatch them all for you before I do a little quick, more in-depth review, as well as a demo as well, to show you how I personally use it. This doesn't mean you have to use it this way, but I just want to demonstrate to you what difference it makes to my face shape on screen. So the first one I'm going to show you is the light one. Now, in all honesty, I haven't opened this. I haven't even used it. I mean, I have opened it, but I've not used it because I'm not light. And each one comes with like a little guide as to how you use it. There are 6 shades altogether, and within the guide it actually shows you how you can use all 6 shades on your face. I personally don't feel that I need to use all 6. It all depends on what you're trying to achieve. If you're kind of trying to go for a super highlighted face, if you're trying to just have one colour in your cheek, but I tend to use one colour to contour my face, my nose, maybe my nose is a little bit lighter, and then the sides of my temples, and then highlight I tend to use exactly the same shade in all places of my face. But this just gives you the option to do what you want really. So this is the light one. So the top shades are meant for highlighting, and then the bottom shades are meant for contouring. And I'll just quickly read what it says to you on the back. It obviously says the same thing on all three. The next generation of contouring has arrived. Cream Contour Kit includes 2 highlighting and 4 contouring shades. Okay. Well, I think again it's down to you what you want to use as a highlighter or what you want to use as a contour shade that work together to help you take your features to new dimensions. Okay, sculpt, define and enhance to create the illusion of refined features, higher cheekbones, a softer jawline or a slimmer nose. That is the main reason for contouring and highlighting, basically. To change the shape of your face, to accentuate certain areas more than others, to hide or kind of sculpt other areas as well. Velvety, smooth, buildable cream formulas blend seamlessly onto the skin for a flawless, fade-proof finish. 100% agree with all those claims. Expertly developed combination of shades that work with your skin tone to create natural shadows and highlights. And then each shade is called light 1, light 2, light 3, light 4, or medium 1, medium 2, medium 3, medium 4, and so on. So this is what light 1 looks like. So I'm just going to swatch it on my hand, and remember I am a medium, obviously medium skin tone, and for reference in MAC I am an NC40 the majority of the time. At the moment, what am I wearing today on my face? I'm wearing Giorgio Armani's Luminous Silk Foundation in 6.5, I think. And I am at my palest at the moment. In the summer this foundation will work for me. So let's try light 1 first, this one here. So these are all the top shades I did first. So starting from here, that's light 1, light 2 and light 3. Personally, I could see myself wearing all 3 of them, even with my medium skin tone. Again, it's down to you. If you want to go for a super mega watt highlight and you've got quite dark skin, you can use these. It's all down to you. And now I'm going to show you the bottom row. And then this is light 4, 5 and 6. As you can see, the only one that really shows up on me is this one here, which is 6. That I could probably use on my nose to contour my nose, because I don't really tend to use a lot of contouring on my nose. Not everybody should really, because your nose, you want it to still retain a natural look. You don't want it to look obviously contoured and obviously fake. And now this one is the medium kit. Yes, of course it's dirty because I'm medium skin tone. This is the one that I have used the most, even though I have touched in a little bit into the dark one as well, because I feel personally that I could use all 3 of them. Everybody can. You can just need to pick and choose. But if you're medium skin tone, go for the medium one. And if you're darker, go for the other one. And if you really want to try out the other ones, try maybe, but you'll only end up using 1 or 2 rather than all of them. Whereas with these ones, I can use all of them. In the dark one, I can only maybe use 1 or 2. And in the light one, maybe 1 or 2. So it depends on how far your budget is willing to stretch as well. So this is medium. Yes, it's dirty because I've been using it every single day. So this is medium 1, medium 2, medium 3. I have been using medium 1 as a highlight. Medium 2 maybe mixed with medium 1 there, here and there. And medium, this one here, number 3, is meant to be a contour shade. It's a little bit too light for me. So this is one of those ones that I'll probably mix with others, because it's one of those meh shades that's kind of in between everything but doesn't actually serve its purpose for me. So now I'm going to show you the bottom 3. This is a warm tone shade, and so is this one, and this is a cool tone shade, which is obviously really good because it gives you that variety when you're going for a cool tone makeup look. Use this one, which is what I did. I tend to go more for warm tone looks, not on purpose, it's just how it is because I've got very warm skin, and I tend to go between these two. I tend to use this one here, a medium 4, to contour my nose and around my forehead and jawline, and I tend to use the darkest one to chisel out my cheekbones. So sorry about my sideways swatching. Why am I swatching it like that? Okay, so that's medium 4, medium 5 and medium 6. I tend to use all 3 of them like I said, but the one I use the most is probably medium 6. Now this last one is dark. They're sweating a little bit, so don't mind that. They look like fresh melted chocolate because they've got that sweaty sheen over it, because they've not been touched obviously except for this one. So just ignore that bit. So as it's supposed to be, these 2 are meant to be highlighting shades and the other 4 are meant to be contouring shades. I've been dipping into this one, which is a dark 4, because yesterday I wanted a more intense contour shade, and as much as I built up the cover, the colour on medium 6, it wasn't enough. I was just building up the product. It doesn't build up coverage, and it doesn't build up intensity of shade. The shade is as the shade is. And that's how it looks. These are the top 3 shades. This one here is dark 1, dark 2 and dark 3. I could probably get away with using dark 1 for some lighter highlighting, or dark 5 and dark 6. So as you can see, they have literally catered towards every skin tone out there. They are, in terms of consistency and how good the quality of the product is, excellent. I give it a 10 out of 10. They're so smooth, they're so easy to blend. It just blends out beautifully and softly. It doesn't accentuate the pores on my face. It blends out very, very quickly. It doesn't settle into any lines on my face. I don't even have to set it unless I really want to. I tend to set my contour, cream contours and that sort of thing more out of habit more than anything else, but on 1 or 2 occasions with the sleek ones I have not set it, and it hasn't budged, it hasn't moved. And because it does blend out so nicely, when I apply my blusher on top, the blusher blends very seamlessly into the actual contour product itself, so there's no too obvious lines like contour, blush, highlight. It all blends in really nicely. So do I recommend this? Yes, definitely. They are so easy. Look at that. Just by going like this, it quickly, that's just how quickly it comes off, because it blends out so nicely. It leaves a really lovely soft finish, and I'm very, very happy with these. The only thing that I will say is that I find myself, I think that they will run out quicker than obviously powder contour kits, because it's a cream you tend to use more without realizing it. So go in with a light hand in the first instance. So now what I'm going to do to you is I'm going to show you myself using the medium kit. As much as I have used the dark kit once or twice, the medium kit is more than likely the one that I will reach for the most, and as I have medium skin tone, it kind of makes sense for me to demo it for you guys using that one. As I forgot to mention, sometimes just get carried away myself, it's got a very, very good mirror on the front. The mirror has actually got very, very good quality to it, so I have used it quite a lot just to do my general makeup as well. And it is in a typical sleek black plastic case, just like their eyeshadows. The brushes that I've been using for these kind of things are 2 brushes. This one is my Makeup Addiction Cosmetics brush called the Queen. It is a very dense synthetic brush. It's a bit dirty, so I'm not going to use it today, but it's just to give you an example of the kind of things that I use to apply it and to blend it into my face. And another one that I've been using is this Sigma 3D HD Precision brush. Again, it's very dense, and as it's angled, you can kind of twist it around and move it around to make more sharp features on your face. And then last but not least, I've started baking. I can't believe it. And you know what? I only started baking because of this. And I never used to bake my face before, and now I can't get enough of it. And so I'm going to show you that at the end, but for now I'm going to show you me using these. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here, which is medium 1, and I am going to highlight the points of my face which I like to illuminate, to stand out, and which I tend to use normally with my MAC Prep and Prime in Light Boost. But for now I've been using this, and I've not been using that. They are thick-ish but not too thick, so it's easy to get onto your brush. So first thing, the chin. This is just to give you an idea of colour as well. It's not too intense, which is why I say I could use the light palette as well. It's going to mess up my lipstick now, isn't it? Great, I didn't think that through. And then my forehead. These blend in very nicely with my foundation as well. So the tops of my cheekbones. I've got some dry patches of skin at the moment, but the reason I like this is because it doesn't cling onto them. It blends out really nicely. Now I'm going to use medium 4, and I'm going to use that on my nose and my forehead. I don't really tend to contour my cheekbone area that much because I don't need to. But I might do, I don't know. Because this is an angled brush, I can just neatly apply it. I don't tend to put too much around my forehead area because I've actually got a very small forehead, and this will just make my forehead go even smaller, which is why I blend my highlight well into the contour. And then I am going to use this one here, which is medium 6, to carve out my cheekbone area. Suck it in, cheekbone just above, and I go in about that much. Because I've got a small round face, there's no need for me to drag my cheekbone all the way down there. And because it's cream, it will blend out, it will end up dragging down anyway, so there's no need to do it in the first place. And that is it. This is how or the amount of product and what I use to contour and highlight my face with a cream product. Okay, I tend to use my beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, to blend out my highlight, because I normally do my concealer and my highlight at the same time, but obviously today I didn't. So I tend to use this. Why it's dirty, because I've already used it for my foundation and my concealer today. So I go in first with my chin. This is going to be difficult because I've got lipstick on. I shouldn't have put my lipstick on yet. Okay, not too bad. See, it just goes to show how easy and quick it is to blend out. And now, don't touch the brows, don't touch the brows, don't touch the brows. I do tend to go back in and tidy bits up, because that's how you should really do your makeup. Don't be fooled by all these videos that you see that show it being done in 2 seconds. You do have to go back in and tidy up areas. I've already pressed into the contour on the top, so I'll go back in afterwards. Now for the cheeks, I will go in sideways so as not to touch the contour underneath. See how quick that is? So quick. Now I'm going to go back in with that same brush, but I'm going to wipe it off a little bit first. You can use your beauty blender if you choose to, but just for now I don't. I'm wiping it off because this had the darker shade on it, which was on my cheekbones and not around here. So there we go. Blended. Blended. Now you don't want to leave, like I said, some sort of circular half moon on your head. So whereas I've blended that out now, go back in with this and make sure that it's all blended nicely together. No funny business. With a cream contour and any kind of contour, you should always blend upwards and not downwards, because you want to make your face appear more elongated, more sharp. If you do it downwards, you'll drag your face down. So I'm just blending out lightly, and then here as well. Now this one's a bit sharper, and now we'll go back in with this. Now you can probably see there's a sharp line, but that's fine. Everything is blended nicely together. And I nearly forgot to do my nose. Now with this one I blend downwards to make my nose appear slimmer. A little bit under here, even though half of it's already kind of been rubbed off. And then generally what I really tend to do is use my finger. You can never go wrong when it comes to cream products using your fingers, because your fingers are the only product out there that won't swallow up the product. Your product will sink into a sponge, it'll sink into a brush. Not so much these ones because they're quite dense. There we go. So this is blended in really nicely. And I love the fact that these give such a beautiful and natural finish, which is what you want with a cream contour. Now, don't be under the illusion that it's like, oh my god, her face just doesn't look as cut and as sharp. Cream contours are meant to give a more natural finish. Powder contours are meant to give a more unnatural finish, but not, depending on obviously how much you use. But the whole purpose of cream contouring is that it blends in nicely into your foundation. It doesn't have the cakiness or powderness of a powder. And then you can just go back in and set it as you want. Now, they have suggested that you can use one of the shades under your eyes. I personally wouldn't use a cream contour under your eye unless it is actually specifically made as a concealer, because the thicker the product, the more likely it will sit in the lines underneath. So this is it. This is how it looks with just the cream contour. Now I'm going to finish the rest of my face so that you can see how I then set everything and that. Again, this is subjective, this is down to you. Just wanted to show you initially how I would apply the actual cream contour kit itself. After that, it's up to you what you choose to do. So now I am going to bake parts of my face. I'm going to use my Ben Nye banana powder, and baking basically just sets and sharpens areas. So because I want my contour to be a little bit more sharp, I'm going to bake underneath, which basically tidies it up at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tip some of this into the lid, and then using that same damp, very dirty now, beauty blender, just go into it so that it looks like this, and then press it in a line as to how you want your contour to be. This will tidy it up as well as set your foundation at the same time, leaving a really nice smooth finish behind. Now it's up to you how long you want to bake for. I tend to just apply it and leave it literally under a minute, while I sometimes do other parts of my face. I've already obviously done other parts of my face already, so just for the purposes of the video I'm doing it last. I tend to do my lipstick last really. And then a little bit around here as well, in case your contour accidentally got dragged down a bit, which can happen with a cream product more than powders. Only a little bit on the nose, literally only a little bit. I don't tend to put it on my forehead because I will then go in and set everything again. There's nothing wrong with setting upon setting upon setting when it comes to using cream products. See, that's about it. I know some people put on loads. Sometimes I do, you know, it just depends on my mood. I look like I've got a beard. Ho, ho, ho. Let's say it's been a minute. Let's wipe it off. And I'm using a Real Techniques contour brush, the same brush that I used to set my under eyes. And then just gently brush it away. And now I've got a nice line, a nice contour line. Can you see it? But it's still quite soft and natural looking. Now I'm just going to use my MAC Studio Fix Powder Foundation just to very lightly push the products into the skin, kind of setting them up. Normally I would, or sometimes actually, I would then go over the contour. I've got fluff here. What's that? I would normally go over it with a powder just to intensify it slightly and almost use the cream contour as a base for that. But just for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to leave it as it is, because you can do that. You don't have to, because this is actually good enough. It's left a really nice finish, a slight tacky feel to it because it is cream. And my blusher is actually a bronzer. It's my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in Radiant Bronze Light. I love these so much. This is one of my favourites. It's one of my all-time favourites, and I'm using an e.l.f. complexion brush. Even though this is a bronzer, I tend to use it as more of a blush. I actually find it too intense to use as an all-over bronzer. The colour is so intense. but it's blending in really nicely with the cream contour. And the whole point of obviously setting it with that powder is so that when you then apply another powder, it applies a lot more cleanly. When you've got a cream product and then you try and put blusher or something on top, it can become patchy. So that is that. How are we looking so far? So good. Now to finish off the look, obviously I have to highlight my face again. And this time I'm going to be using the Bobbi Brown Bronze Glow Highlighting Powder, which is like my love right now. And I'm using a Morphe M501 brush to apply it to the tops of your cheekbones, which is right here where you applied the cream. And then blend it in nicely with your bronzer or your blusher or whatever you used. And again, tops of the cheekbones. People in these videos seem to get confused thinking I'm putting highlighter under my eye. There's a big light in front of me, guys. I keep telling you, but you don't listen. Just to the tops of my cheekbones, as you can see right here. And then just a little bit down the nose. Not too much. And I think I'll leave my top lip today because I've already got lipstick on and it's just going to mess it up. I think the Sleek Cream Contour Kit is excellent. There is a shade for every single person, whether you're fair, medium or dark. It applies beautifully. It blends amazingly. It doesn't accentuate the pores. It blends in nicely with your foundation. And it leaves a really nice, natural, subtle finish depending on whether you know how to blend it out properly. Blend it out properly. It's very important that you do that. If you're unsure about it, like for example, I'm sitting in front of a ring light, go in front of some natural light, in front of a window. If you can see the harshness of it, tone it down. You can always blend it down. You can mix some of these with each other as well to create your own shade. So that's it really. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this review and this demo. Sorry if it's a bit long, but obviously it's understandable because I'm showing like loads of stuff and demoing. Yeah, so if you've got any other comments, questions, feel free to let me know below. Are you going to get your hands on it when it comes out? What are your thoughts? Do you like cream contours? Can't be bothered. Some people can't. Ever since getting this, I now can actually be bothered. And like you've seen, I've actually started baking my face as well. Wow. So yes, I hope you guys enjoyed the video and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.